Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I actually tried to do this as a Coffee with Liberty video on Wednesday morning, but unfortunately it devolved into the baby screaming about the NFA and me begging her to let me have a word in edgewise, so we're going to have to do this one the old-fashioned way. But despite all of that, the news is that a new bill has been introduced in Congress to strip the ATF of the power to regulate SBRs and short-barrel shotguns by removing those items from the NFA completely. A girl can dream. Before we get into the details, this video is brought to you today with the help of BulletSafe. BulletSafe makes bulletproof vests, ballistic plates, armor panels, gas masks, and respirators for both law enforcement and civilian use. Their bottom line is to make products so people can work with less stress and fear, and so parents can return home to their children each evening. As part of that pledge, they're offering my viewers 10% off their order with code LibertyDoll10. You can check them out at the link down in the description and the pinned comment. Okay, so today's topic is the appropriately named Stop Harassing Owners of Rifles Today Act, or short for short. The bill takes aim at the NFA by using the ATF's own tactics against it and changing the definitions of shotgun and rifle. The bill was introduced on Tuesday by Senators John Kennedy of Louisiana and Roger Marshall of Kansas, but has a whole slew of co-sponsors, including Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, and Rand Paul. The bill summary reads, to amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to remove short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and certain other weapons from the definition of firearms for purposes of the NFA and for other purposes. It's a short, sweet little 6-page bill that first redefines shotguns under federal tax law so they can no longer be classified as destructive devices, which then preempts them from being regulated under the NFA. Section 3 strikes the words short-barreled shotgun or short-barreled rifle from the criminal code, making them legal to own and use for all lawful purposes. Section 4 is where things start to get interesting. Treatment of short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and other weapons determined by reference to National Firearms Act. Section 5841 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, which is basically the big federal tax law, is amended by adding at the end the following: requirements for short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and other weapons determined by reference. In the case of any registration or licensing requirement under state or local law with respect to a short-barreled rifle, short-barreled shotgun, or any other weapon as defined in Section 5845E, which is determined by reference to the National Firearms Act, any person who acquires or possesses such rifle, shotgun, or other weapon in accordance with Chapter 44 of Title 18, United States Code shall be treated as meeting any such registration or licensing requirement with respect to such rifle, shotgun, or other weapon. So basically, if you have an SBR or short-barrel shotgun for any lawful legal purpose, you're good. And now we get into the real meat and potatoes. Taxes on short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and other weapons. Notwithstanding subsection A, a law of a state or a political subdivision of a state that imposes a tax other than a generally applicable sales or use tax on making, transferring, using, possessing, or transporting a short-barreled rifle, short-barreled shotgun, or any other weapon, as that term is defined in Section 5845, which this bill addresses, in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce, or imposes a marking, record-keeping, or registration requirement with respect to such a rifle, shotgun, or other weapon, shall have no force or effect. Boom. Mic drop. But when removing something from the NFA, you can't just strike it from the list and call it a day. You also have to consider all the records that the ATF has compiled on those items. And the bill addresses this too by giving the government a year to destroy any and all records relating to the registration of SBRs and short-barreled shotguns and any applications to register, transfer, or make them. It's no secret that this bill was inspired by the ATF's new pistol brace rule, as Kennedy and his other sponsors condemned the rule right in their press release. The Biden administration is going to keep looking for ways to penalize law-abiding gun owners unless Congress makes their rights clear. A brace that countless disabled Americans use to exercise their Second Amendment rights should not be regulated by unelected anti-gun bureaucrats. And this bill would force the Biden ATF to stop devising new restrictions for legal firearms. Finalization of this pistol brace rule represents the worst fears of gun owners across the country. The SHORT Act will protect Americans from the anti-Second Amendment gun registry that the ATF is abusing the National Firearms Act to create. Congress cannot continue to turn a blind eye to the Biden administration's weaponization of the NFA and ongoing assault on Americans' Second Amendment freedoms. In the face of President Biden's unconstitutional tactics and backdoor gun control, the SHORT Act provides a permanent solution to combat the unlawful pistol brace rule and protect Americans' constitutional right to keep and bear arms. Kennedy is also issuing a joint resolution of disapproval of the brace rule under the Congressional Review Act. This is on top of the lawsuits that have already been filed against the rule on day one. GOA and the NRA have already come out in support of the SHORT Act, but whether it can actually get through Congress is another question entirely, and is honestly pretty unlikely. It definitely won't get past the potato in chief, and I'd say that one is a guarantee. Still, after what seems like years of sitting by on the sidelines and twiddling thumbs, it's nice to see the Republicans actually digging in their heels and introducing bills to do something about the runaway government. For a change. That's it for this one, gang. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Drop a comment or 10 for the algorithm. And don't forget to check out today's sponsor. As always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe from the ATF and happy shooting.